Barakatah Yahawah, Barakatah Yahawah Shah, Barakatah Yahawah, Barakatah Yahawah Shah, Barakatah Yahawah, Barakatah Yahawah Shah. Double honors to the apostles that taught us this truth, and peace, salutations, mercy, and love, man, to the hopefully elect. All right, back at it. It's a lot of stuff going on here lately in the year 2020, and I just wanted to put my little 2 cents in. So let's get straight into it. As we know, as seeing the prophets and hopefully being the prophets, we are all engaged in the spirit of prophecy, and I just wanted to touch on how the Lord's words are in fact true, and everything that He said that will befall upon this earth in these last days is coming to pass. So let's get straight into it. And it reads, we'll start at Acts 2:17. And it shall come to pass in the last days, where we at now, saith Yahawah, I will pour out my spirit upon all flesh. All right, so that's everybody involved. They didn't just specify the elect. All right, and your sons and your daughters shall prophesy, and your young men shall see visions, and your old men shall dream dreams. Okay, so of course, this being deemed the year of prophecy, the year 2020, there's been a lot of stuff going on. Headlines, of course, the coronavirus, as well as this coming war, the rumors of those wars, earthquakes back to back, uprisings of the people, that sedition, all these things are taking place right now at a very rapid, consistent pace. We just saw Kobe pass and his daughter. That was huge in the news. But I did definitely wanted to touch on the Lord's Spirit being poured out upon all flesh. Now, once again, I did a video a while back about Atlanta, and I did one on Chicago. I'm from Georgia, and I was talking about just how effed up it is in both places in Chicago, but how a lot of people, specifically Israelites, were moving their so-called black behinds down to Atlanta for those reasons, of course. Prosperity, that would be getting a job, a dream home for the low. Okay, once again, trying to be an actor, actress, a musician, or maybe it's just a party and just the vibe. Of course, I understand a lot of people from the Midwest. The Midwest is completely screwed up. Detroit, okay, like Chicago, at least where Jake at in the hood. All that Milwaukee, all the whole Mid St. Louis, it's terrible. So I definitely understand people trying to relocate, but I'm just here to tell you, with the spirit on me, that it's a trap from Yahawah by Hashem Yahawah Shah, and it's gonna get crazy. So let's get into it. I got a video queued it. All right, so this dude Lowski, I be watching him sometimes. Like I say, he's a dude that's from Chicago. If you check out his channel, he's Chicago, man. He talked like maybe not so much now, but definitely in his earlier channel days, it was a lot of. He was just basically just giving history, his about Chicago, what he went through, what they go through. A lot of gun action, a lot of death, and it wouldn't seem that he had the spirit, you know, of the elect. I can't call that, but he definitely would seem like he would be of the 2/3. But going back to Acts 2:17, how the Lord said He will pour His Spirit out upon all flesh. So let's hear this brother from Chicago talk a little bit about Chicago.
And this the truth behind Chicago and I say dark spirits. This is basically, what makes Chicago Chicago.
And the reason why, I did this video is because he lives in Atlanta now. He moved from Chicago like a lot of those gangbangers have done, here within the last, just the last 3 years, 3 to 5 years. Like I say, it's a lot of people, specifically Israelites, of course, moving down to Atlanta. So we're gonna see exactly, you know, this setup the Lord is getting ready to
Okay,
do.
and you gotta let's go from the beginning. Chicago was found by a man named Dusable. What you don't know is he was a Haitian witch doctor, some say, and and him and his people performed, certain rituals and sacrifices on the land of Chicago. He the founder of Chicago. They know it was a black Haitian man, yes, and his name was Dusable, and he did a lot of magic. Okay, and let's fast forward a little bit. Let's just think of all the murders, killings. The first serial killer was from Chicago. You know, um, let's fast forward. Anton LaVey Jr. The first founder of the first Church of Satan. Since I just woke up, y'all. I'm sorry. It's early. I just woke up. The first Church of Satan was founded where? In Chicago. Satanist was formed where? In Chicago.
And that's pretty big. I mean, if you guys do know, was Anton LaVey? He's the founder of the Church of Satan. That's pretty big. Like I say, man, it's deeper than when I had did that video, and I was talking about when I used to bring up like how much carnage was going on specifically in Chicago, specifically the year I believe it was 2016. I have to look it up, but I'm thinking, but like I said, it was over 700 people murdered, that year alone. And with us having spiritual eyes, that ought to like raise some flags, man. Like this isn't like normal. This is like a whole nother, like it seemed like it's like some spiritual, like real demonic demons running rampant, all over, the city.
Satanist was formed where? In Chicago.
And I'm sure all these these things that this brother's talking about, has to play within the way that these dudes are murdering each other, man.
Oh, Chicago is very magical. I mean, a very dark city, and it's a feeling about just being in Chicago. You only get this feeling in Chicago. Yeah, if you've been in Chicago, if you're from Chicago, you know what I'm talking about. If you were born and raised in Chicago and you left to go to another city, you feel like it's different. The people look different. The people act different. It's just different. The only place you can feel something close Chicago is Detroit. Where Detroit,
And that's once again that's why I had brought that up. Like I said, us being from down here. Like I said, I live in Columbus now, Columbus, Georgia. It's like it's about about 2 hours away from College Park. That's the south side of Atlanta. They want most of my cousins at right now, but we've always said the same thing the brother's saying. There's a feeling that you get when you're in Atlanta. It's not like the feeling he has, like with that just death spirit, but like let's say the 90s, man, we would always catch this vibe, this feeling of just dare I say happiness and just a real, how people say the South got that down home, feel to it. We nice people, yeah, and like but right now, as I say, I lived in Atlanta. I was living in Atlanta. Was it what year is this? 2020, like 2018, 2018 or 2019. And that feeling has changed. It went from like with, of course, with the spirit of the Lord, YAHAWAH Shem Yahweh upon me, I was able to, to see and discern, these spirits. But it's a whole different feeling now, man. I can feel like the death. I can feel, the whoredoms taking over, and it feels like very, very dark now. With all these spirits. You got, like I say, the Hamites, the Africans. They move there strong. The Ishmaelites, okay, the Moabites, all right, and of course Jacob and Esau, real heavy in Atlanta. And like I say, that being the melting pot, it's just a recipe for disaster. The more spirits that you have concentrated in one location, of course, the greater the chance is gonna be for some bullshit.
Act different. It's just different. The only place you can feel something close.
Oh yeah, and I was saying, like a lot of people come down here to catch that vibe. Like he's saying, I don't blame the brother for wanting to get the hell out of Chicago, but what I'm trying to tell the Israelites is, bro, this is a trap, man. This is not the place to come, man, because it's a lot of BS going on in Atlanta. And like I say, when this judgment falls upon this wicked kingdom, Atlanta's gonna be, one of the top dogs and one of the worst places to be in the world. Mark my words. Mark the words of the prophets.
It's just different.
He gonna die in Atlanta.
The only place you can feel something close Chicago is Detroit. Where Detroit has a lot of there's a lot of dark spirits that runs Detroit. Yeah. They even had the sculpture of the Baphomet downtown in Detroit. I mean it was there. I don't know where they took it now. But yeah, they even have big statue of the Baphomet. But you don't know who Baphomet is. That's the head of the goat, tits and all that, leg, hooves, all that, you know what I'm saying? That's Baphomet. You know what I'm saying? So, but Chicago it's a certain toughness that you have with being in Chicago. Even people flying over Chicago reports they feel different when they're going over Chicago. It's just a hardness. I can't explain it. Being raised in Chicago, I just cannot explain it to you. She just had to know. Like I was talking to my baby mama, right? And she still lives in Chicago, and she's hard, she tough, she keeps a gun, she do what she's supposed to do. I love it. I promise you, I love it. I loves it. And she was like, "You act different. Like you act nicer." And I told her like, "I don't know why the fuck I act so nice. I didn't act like this when I was in Chicago." She said, "Yeah, but I love it though. I love, how you act nice because you used to always be mean to me and you always mean everyone. You just mean." I'm like, "I'm still mean, but I feel myself being a lot of nice too, like a lot of nice. Like, and I ain't just fucking nice. That's just being in a different place. It's not Chicago. When you're in Chicago, you act different, you talk different, you walk different. Everything is a little different. Going to another city and witnessing and embracing and
These niggas don't know nothing about no goddamn Atlanta. Like I said, they done moved down here, bro, and they think it's sweet. They think they finna run from their problems, whatever it is, be it poverty, boredom, okay, a lack of women, males or women, whatever. A lot, like I say, a lot of the gay culture is down here real strong now. If you wanna, they think they wanna come down here and be free.
embarking on new adventures that's different. So Chicago has a lot of dark entities from the bloody 20s, from, everything with Al Capone and from the original disciples and the Freemasonry. It's just, Chicago is covered in magic.
Yeah, so is Atlanta.
Like it's covered in it. It's right by the water. Anybody that know anything about Wiccan or satanic rituals or pagan, anything, you need water. Chicago is built on water. There ain't nothing but water there. 85% of Chicago is water. We just build streets upon it. My grandma used to tell me when I was a kid, one day the water gonna take back its own. And I used to always figure like, what's that? It was water all the way up to Halsted. Now everybody from Chicago, think about how big I just said. That's the whole east side covered in water. Most of the south side covered in water. And it stops on Halsted. Water came to Halsted. Now think about how big that is, y'all. Think about how big that is. Halsted. Okay. Now, think about how much of Chicago is actually Chicago left. Because keep going down that route, it's going to interest you in Burbank, hometown, and shit like that. That's all suburbs. So really, it's not that much of Chicago that was not covered in water. So imagine all those rituals, all those spirits. Imagine all those things they did on that water, on that beach, which not just me and everyone else.
I mean, that's what I was saying. And he's like speaking so much truth, man. Like for those of us who have done our research throughout the years, concerning the Illuminati, or the powers that be, the powers that run this world, and as it relates to some of those rituals, that they're doing. If blood is required, bro, do you know how much blood is being spilled just from their gang banging alone? Like I say, they murdered like over 700 people. Like, it's so much blood being spilled for these rituals, and like I say, this brother from here, he know what he talking about.
Those things they did on that water, on that beach, which not just me and everyone else that participated in certain things. For a lot of acts, you need water, so you don't have to be on the beach. It's nothing but water in Chicago. Message.
Say less. Let's get it. And we'll get into it. What am I apocryphal? All right, let's go to second Esdras 15 and 17. Oh, we'll go. Let's go 15 and 16. All right. For there shall be sedition among men, all right, and invading one another, they shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. All right, so of course, the coming race wars that's building up, and of course the wars of the people versus the governments are worldwide. Like, who knows, man? Even there in North Korea, them people might end up bucking up against Kim Jong Un, whatever his name is. Of course, over here, once they see the jankiness of their government, these people and Babylon the Great are not gonna go for it. They're gonna buck up. Just like, remember Occupy Wall Street, you know what I'm saying? So history is gonna repeat itself, and it's gonna happen. It is happening. And it reads in verse 17 is the point. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. Okay, so in combination with these race wars and all this violence that's going to take place amongst the people, going back to that coronavirus as it relates to these cities, specifically the ATL. Like I said in my previous video, I was talking about how the HIV rate was said to be that of a third world country. Like I say, it's a lot of Israelites that live, first and foremost, that's from down here, going back to when we came over here on them slave ships, where we went to, from Florida to Georgia, the ports over in Louisiana, all the Carolinas, man. We still here. The majority of our people, is in the South. So as it relates to that coronavirus coming, bro, when it gets here, or if they want to call it that, whatever plagues and viruses it is, all I'm saying is that all these millions of people that live in Atlanta, they gonna get stuck in that MF. You understand me? They gonna get stuck in the city, and they not gonna be able to leave. They not gonna know what to do, and it's going to be a mess. Like I say, Atlanta is off the meat rack right now. Like, it's just like the traffic is just as bad as LA, man. Like, us being from down here, we saw this growth. We saw, like the highway just expand beyond belief. 85, 20, 75, some of the most dangerous highways in the United States. And I just wanted to warn anyone, that's thinking about moving down here, or that is, in the city. just continue to fear the Lord. Of course, we know that the Lord is going to protect his, but everybody else in all of these cities, we already know New York gonna get it. They've been making movies about New York and California getting invaded by, what they call UFOs, forever, and things and such, and outbreaks and viruses and things of that nature. But, being that this is my AO, it's near and dear to me, Got a lot of family down here, man. A lot of cousins, a lot of my real close cousins, my aunties, they all in Atlanta, man. And it's gonna get very, very shitty, very, very ugly. And like I said, when I go to the A, man, and just to visit, bro, I feel terrible. Like getting on that highway, used to hear old ladies make jokes, which really wasn't a joke, but how you need to be thanking the Lord every time you make it in your driveway after driving on them damn highways on that 85 on that 20, boy, for real, because it's dangerous, it's aggressive. Like I say, as soon as I get here, all the people, like I say, they rude as hell now. Just weirdo, all the weirdos, man. And like I say, it's just being overran by demons. So what's gonna happen, Lord willing, this being the year of prophecy, I pray in the name of Yahawah Shem Yahawah as it relates to us getting out of here. I pray, the outbreak spreads in the United States. What we got a word for? We're gonna be protected, And like I say, for all these, it's near and dear to me. I don't care nothing about Babylon. I got Georgia tatted on me when I was in the world, so you know how much it kind of means to me. But of course, me maturing, through the spirit. I don't care. This place is gonna burn up, but you know, this is not where it's at, man. This is not your refuge, and you cannot run from this. They trying to run, you know what I'm saying, from their problems and thinking that Atlanta is the place to be, when in reality, the Most High Yahawah through the power of His Son Yahawah Shah is. I'm telling you, mark my words. It's a trap. He's letting all these people funnel into these locations, these big cities, like whether it be Texas. A lot of people move to Texas too. Like you don't hear people moving to LA. We heard about the cost of living out in California. We done heard about Skid Row. Like I say, people trying to come to the South, man, to get these houses for the low. Okay, and I'm telling you, it's gonna be a trap. The Lord's gonna funnel them all in, and once everyone is here that needs to be here, He gonna lock them in for the judgment. In the name of Yahawah Shem Yahawah, that's all I got. Until next time. Once again, call halal Yahawah Shem Yahawah, the water Yahawah Shem Yahawah, for waking up us up this morning and letting us get through another day. Peace and salutations once again. To the hopefully elect. Shalom.